Hello and welcome to this first edition of HBM's Crypto Corner for the year 2019. January 9th to be exact, even though I'm recording this on January 6th. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Our first story is about just enough time to miss Bigfoot. Now this pertains to the Stop the Text, Stop the Wrecks ad campaign, which is kind of alerting drivers to the dangers of texting while driving. Well, apparently one of the newest commercials features our favorite cryptid, our favorite cryptid known as Sasquatch. Let's see here, I'm going to play the ad. Now, you could say this one was more in a humorous type context, but most of the ads within this ad campaign, well, they depict people actually getting in wrecks and things like that. So they're a little bit more serious. Although there is one that I saw which had humans texting on their phones crossing the highway in front of deer who were driving a vehicle. That one was much more, you might say, humorous as well. So this was a very fascinating ad, really. And it continues to show the popularity of Bigfoot in advertising. And I think it's pretty cool myself. Seems that the state of Montana just cannot stay away from Bigfoot controversy. I mean, first, back in 2012, a young man named Randy Lee Tinley decided it would be a good idea to dress up in a ghillie suit and fool people by running across the highway dressed like Bigfoot. Unfortunately, it didn't go so well for him. He was unfortunately killed and run over, which marked the first instance of anyone actually being killed perpetrating a Bigfoot hoax. As far as I know, it's the only instance. However, another man was actually mistaken for Bigfoot in the state of Montana. Apparently, there was a man target practicing, but he was forced to take cover after shots were fired in his direction. And the other shooter said he was out hunting Bigfoot. Thought the other guy was Bigfoot. He said he should have been wearing orange. Now, see, folks, this is why you should wear orange during hunting season. Although this other guy was hunting Sasquatch, he wasn't hunting any other kind of game. So, so be careful, folks. Even if you're out with your son, target shooting and all that. Just be careful. Although, wait, it doesn't say he was out with his son, I don't think. It says he was target shooting, but he was not, I think he was alone. Anyway, be careful, folks. Now, I feel like I have to kind of bring this up, and let's just say it brings me no joy. But yeah, it seems like MK Davis is back at it and claiming that there was a conspiracy, that there was a massacre, and all this stuff. Not necessarily sure I agree with that, but you know, the man has the right to his opinion. Does that mean that I have to agree with it? No. But he has the right to his opinion. And it seems like he's kind of laid out the case, or attempted to lay out the case, that Renee Hinton worked for the government and all kinds of well, shall we say, interesting theories, you might say. Again, I don't agree with those theories, but he has the right to those. But he has the right to his opinions, as I said, and I have the right to disagree. Okay, here's further information on what I was just talking about. Researcher M.K. Davis exposes the cover-up and covert genocide against Sasquatch. In this interview released January 3rd, 2019, famous Sasquatch researcher M.K. Davis makes shocking revelations with well-documented evidence and convincing arguments about the massive cover-up and covert genocide perpetrated against the Sasquatch. He describes the details surrounding the famous Patterson-Gimlin footage taken in Bluff Creek, California in 1967 while a hunting party was chasing the local Sasquatch clan for the logging industry, which resulted in killings. The well-known so-called Minnesota Iceman, a corpse from a hairy humanoid owned by a Californian millionaire that emerged just after and was exhibited for years kept in ice, likely came from Bluff Creek. Essentially, well, I don't know if this, I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, do I know if this is all true or not? No, I do not. I wasn't there. I don't know. It would seem a bit fantastical and a bit difficult to believe, but stranger things have happened, ladies and gentlemen. So I don't know. I mean, MK's been kind of on this tear about the massacre for almost 11 years now, and it appears he's not letting up anytime soon, where this is concerned. You know, perhaps he should have let up years ago, but he chose to stick with it. Well, I disagree, and that's fine. I think I have the right to disagree. But I also say that I wasn't there, so I can't say for sure if anything happened or not. But I have not seen any evidence that anything like this ever happened, so I don't know. I have no idea. So it's like on the one hand I disagree, but on the other hand I don't know if it happened or not. That would seem to be a bit contradictory, wouldn't it? Well, I don't mean it. I don't mean for it to sound contradictory. I'll just put it that way. By the way, I want to apologize for constantly clearing my throat and perhaps coughing every now and then. Just I know you guys, some of you are a little bit annoyed by me constantly clearing my throat, but I don't know what it is. I just get a little bit of something in my throat and I have to clear it. So I apologize. Well, we're going to round this out with this interesting story: the top 8 coelacanth stories for 2018. But there's one right here. There's one list. Well, no, wait a minute. I guess there we go. Here we go. Now, just go right to it. Apparently, there is there was a new species of Indonesian coelacanth found, which is pretty exciting. I mean, we're talking what 80 years after the initial discovery of what was thought to be an extinct fish. And it was in 1938. It was thought to be extinct, but It was in 1938 when the discoverer of the giant panda Ruth Harkness also managed to spot this fish on the dock in South Africa, and that was that was the modern. You could say that was the coelacanth being brought into modern consciousness, because it was thought to be extinct for years. They were thought to be extinct for over 60 million years until one was discovered in 1938. Oh, I said her name was Ruth Harkness. It was actually Marjorie Courtney Latimer. My mistake about Ruth Harkness. Marjorie Courtney Latimer. That's the one. That's the lady who spotted the coelacanth and managed to save it. And that is why we have today this unusual fish, and that's also why it is the official symbol of the International Cryptozoology Museum in Portland, Maine. And the upcoming International Cryptozoology Conference is coming up in April. I think there's going to be a presentation about the coelacanth. Here's the International Cryptozoology Museum website. But yeah, I mean, it's fascinating stuff. And it looks like they're gonna. It looks like the what you call it. The conference is going to do well, I think. The International Cryptozoology Conference. But this is the museum. So, right, the coelacanth is a very exciting development. It really is. And the fact that they're finding new species of it is very exciting. So anyway, that is going to do it for this week. Kind of a short show, but not really that much to discuss. The now Sunday they had a few cryptozoology programs on National Geographic. They had the three-part Bigfoot: The New Evidence on. That was the one with Dr. Brian Sykes and the studies that he conducted into the DNA that was sent to him. And then they also had it was called Sea Monsters: The Definitive Guide, and it was about sea monsters and lake monsters, including about the um, the megalodon, and also the giant squid. Which was pretty interesting and pretty cool. So, some very cool stuff, and yeah. So this episode will go up on Wednesday, the 9th of January. Hope you guys enjoy this, and if there's any other cryptid news, obviously I will report it right here. If there's late breaking news, obviously it'll be reported. Now there is now Bob Gimlin is planning a tour in April of the United States, and he's going to go to different states, just kind of get to meet the people and everything like that, which sounds pretty exciting. he's going to be going to several states. Ohio, I think Tennessee, Washington State, several other places. So if you happen to be in one of those states, just check bobgimlin.net. Oh, and by the way, the International Bigfoot Conference was canceled for 2019. That news also emerged this week. So I suppose Russell will have one in 2020. But for 2019, there will be no event. So anyway, that'll do it for this week. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and Happy New Year, and y'all be good or be good at it. This has been the first 2019 edition of HBM's Crypto Corner.